Hi everyone, it's Jessie. Today's video is gonna be about something very important. As you probably understand from the title, I'm going to talk about my encounter with sexual assault. But instead of just talking about it, I'm using makeup to show you how it helped me get through this, even if it was just a little bit. Okay, so here we go. One night, I was at an after work where I would get to know the people from my then new job. So I went there, dressed up as properly as I could. We had dinner, we served some drinks, and got to admire one of the most beautiful views of the city that I've ever seen. Then, when the after work was over, I decided I would stay out for a bit, just to see if I could meet up some friends. Sadly, we couldn't meet up, but I was already out at a new bar, so I felt like staying out for a little while, just to enjoy the warm and cozy summer night. And if I was lucky, maybe I could meet some nice folks that I could hang out with. And so I did. I had something to drink and met some nice girls that I joined and followed to another place. But that's when things went from nice to scary, because I don't remember much from that point. Either way, me and my new friends had something more to drink, and then I went straight to water for the rest of the night, because I didn't want to risk waking up with a hangover in the morning. After that, I went on to the dance floor so I could dance with my new friends. And I'm pretty sure that's the last thing I remember before it all went black. Until this day, I'm still not sure why I blacked out. I only remember a few moments from the rest of the night. For instance, I remember being in a taxi with two other passengers, and I was asking the driver to take me home, but I wasn't. The next thing I remember was that I was in a bathroom getting ready to go to bed, because apparently I had a place to stay. I remember that I didn't think much about it. I was too tired to think, so when I was done, I went straight to bed so I could get some sleep. And all I can remember after that is that I'm in a bed, in a dark room, in a stranger's home, with a stranger holding me down against my will. I remember that I was screaming, begging them to stop. I'm telling them that it hurts, that they're hurting me. But he just said, shh, shh, baby, just be quiet. And at that point, I realized that I couldn't fight it, that I couldn't break loose, that he wouldn't stop, that he wouldn't let me go. So my body gave up. It froze, just so it could be over, just so it would stop. And the last thing I remember from that night is that I'm having a panic attack. Probably one of the worst, if not the worst, I've ever had. I truly thought I was going to die, because I couldn't breathe by myself. And to be honest, in that moment, I'm pretty sure that I didn't want to breathe. I just wanted to disappear. I didn't want to exist anymore. I just want to die. But of course, I didn't. Instead, an ambulance was called, and the paramedics managed to calm me down. When I could think for myself again, they took me into the ambulance, where they started to ask me questions about who I was, if I knew where I was, how I got there, if I remembered anything. And that's when I understood what really had happened. And right away I broke down into tears. I told them everything I could remember. In just a few minutes, the police arrived, ready to pick me up, question me and bring me to the hospital. And the worst part of it all was not how much it hurt, how painful it was to tell them what happened over and over again. No, the worst part was when I had to call my mom from the police car. I don't remember much of it. I was shaking like a leaf, bailing my eyes out, forcing my mouth to get the words out. But in the end, I just said, "Mom, I'm in a police car. I'm on my way to the hospital. Mom, I've been raped." And for the rest of the way to the hospital, I was just crying and crying over and over again. I don't even remember her response. When we arrived at the hospital, I was quickly put in my own room with 2 cops watching over me. And somehow I was doing okay. Like I was almost laughing about it. I told a few of my friends what had happened. I got a call that my mom and my brother was on their way to the hospital, and I fell asleep for a while until they had to do some tests on me. I'm pretty sure it didn't even take 4 hours until they were done, and I was sent home later the same day. I had 2 of my best friends coming over to keep me company and to just get me on my feet as good as possible. And I gotta say, thanks to them, they managed to turn a truly horrible day into a rather good day. And for that, I am eternally grateful. In the days that followed, I didn't think much about it. I pushed it aside, trying my best not to letting it bother me, just so I could focus on work instead. I was 100% sure that the police would take care of this, that they would catch him, and that I would get my justice served. But time went on, passed by, day by day, and nobody from the police called. Nothing new seemed to come up, I guess, and time went on like always. One night, I realized that I've started to have nightmares about that night. Suddenly, I actually understood how scared I truly was and how disgusted I was of myself for what's been done to me. More time passed, days turned into weeks turned into months, and at that point, I started to understand how lost I actually felt. I had grown numb to feel anything at all, and no matter what I did, I couldn't seem to get the help I needed, the help I want to believe that I deserved. All I wanted was to get this over with, to just move on with my life. But I couldn't. One day, I was completely destroyed and pissed off by everything that had let me down. I was so pissed off at the system, the authorities and the police for leaving me with injustice and without any help. So I shoplifted and I got caught red-handed. And there I was, crying, panicking, completely destroyed right in front of the police. I could not understand what had happened, what I had done. I was questioned right there on the spot, and the police took me to this psychiatric emergency reception. There I got to talk to some doctors who helped me get in contact with my old doctors, but sadly I had been there too many times for them to help me anymore. At least I got some kind of help for that day, at least. As usual, time went on. I got my penalty for what I did, but I was still waiting to hear anything about him. There was times when all I did was dreaming, hoping, begging, even wishing for a phone call from the police where someone would say to me, "Hello, Miss V-shirt? We have good news. We caught him. He's been locked up, and I can promise you that he won't ever hurt you or anybody else ever again. You can sleep safe now." But that call never came. Instead, I had to call them. With all of my anxiety, fear, and panic tearing me apart more and more for every second, I had to wait for somebody to pick up the phone. At last, I got to talk to a commissioner who told me the state of my case. He told me that they found DNA on my clothes. And for a second, I thought that it was finally over, that he was actually gonna get caught. But it didn't last long, because the next thing he said was, "There's no match in our system. We can't identify this DNA." And I started laughing, because I thought this was all some sick joke. But of course he wasn't joking. He told me that all I could do was to give up the case and just wait for him to turn himself in. And that broke me. That completely, utterly broke me in a way I've never been broken before. Knowing that he was still out there, on free foot, still able to cause this harm to another person. And here I was, left with injustice and pain. So I gave up the case. I got some of my clothes back, and now here I am, telling you my story. Still horrified, still having nightmares, still not sure who did this to me or why. And that makes me truly disgusted. But there's one more thing I want to say to you who did this to me. Dear horrible human being, let me get straight to the point. Fuck you. Thanks to you, I'm scarred for life. Thanks to you, I lost a piece of myself that I can never get back. Thanks to you, I don't dare to walk alone in the dark. Thanks to you, I have to carry a protection spray with me wherever I go. Thanks to you, I'm scared of certain people because of what you did. Thanks to you, I can't truly trust men anymore because of what you did. Thanks to you, I'm scared to get into a relationship because I'm scared of being held down against my will again. Thanks to you, I can't listen to people whispering anymore because of how you whispered, "Shh, be quiet." Thanks to you, I've lost my trust in the system. Thanks to you, I have to cancel plans with my friends because of pure fear that this can happen again. Thanks to you, I am scared. But even though I might be scared and I might be scarred, I will say that you won't have the pleasure of breaking my spirit. Thanks to the people around me, I know I deserve better. Thanks to everyone that cares about me, I know that I am loved. Thanks to everyone that's been by my side, I know that I'm never alone. And so I swear that if I ever see you again, if I ever hear your disgusting voice calling me baby again, I will make sure that your ass ends up in prison where you can never hurt somebody like this again. And I promise you that I won't give up, but not because of you, only because of the people that believe in me, because of the people that helped me tell my story, to stop you from doing this again. And if you, who's listening to this, is going through something like this, wherever you are out there, please remember that you are not alone, that you're never alone. You'll always have someone by your side, someone who will believe in you, someone who will listen to you, someone who will help you through this. There is always someone who will understand you. So please remember that you are loved by so many people and that you deserve better than this. And never let something like this define who you are. Thank you all so much for watching this video and listening to my story. And as always, I will see you in the next video. But until then, stay true, everybody. Bye.